ain't drunk. I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You all have to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come
night.
on now, you all don't feel like that.
Hey kids, happy Saturday morning. Bam! I just did the booster test. Now, here is the finished product. I did not put on my headlight. I used to have a little flashlight up here. So I just hot glued a propeller over the hole. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I took the exact same bird. You're going to see the flight video after this little spiel. Took the exact same bird, exact same battery, exact same props. However, I couldn't go as high as I really wanted to. I really wanted to go bam all the way. But there's 10-mile-an-hour winds out today. And even though I'll fly a micro in 15 or even higher, I don't like going 1,000 feet with one because by the time you get up, you're like half a block away or more. So I did go up till I started getting video breakup, and I was using my great horny antenna. Okay, now it could have been atmospheric or whatever else, but I was pretty damn high. Now here's the thinking, and when I have a nice, calm, perfectly dead day, bam, I'm gonna go really, really high. But if the mod wouldn't have worked or would have fucked up, it went as high at least as yesterday, probably higher. If it would have fucked up your transmitter, you wouldn't have gotten about 100 feet away, bam, and it would have dropped out of the ground. I've done that before. So we know it worked. Now, how much did it duplicate or how much did it give me on range? That's yet to be determined. I'm playing with the, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner of my OSD, bottom right-hand corner, second tier up, you'll see my RSSI. And it actually stays pretty solid for most of it, but then it goes right to 0. But I don't think that's the antennas. I think that's something to do with I need to calibrate it somehow with the radio link. I haven't played with that enough. So ignore the RSSI. I had full control. I never lost it. Never went into a death spiral. Nothing. So I know for a fact that this worked. Bam! Excited. Now, the next thing you're going to ask, and like I said, when I have a day where the trees aren't bending over from wind, I'm going to do this just fucking as high as I can go and until I completely lose feed, and I'll do a death drop, and hopefully I don't lose one of my favorite quads. Okay, so your question now is, why would you want to do this? You know, it's like I have an AT9 or I have a Tyrannus. That fucker goes out 1.5 kilometers. For one thing, it's 25 bucks. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Number two, if you're building little tiny micros like these guys or my ever coveted 80 mil, I love this little guy. You're probably not using full-sized receivers. You're using those little Park Flyer. Let me see if I got a brand new one. Hang on. I know I do. All right. Here's a brand new Radio Link. What is this pig? Whatever the fuck they're called. R6 DSM. Now, when I did, this is Radio Link, and most of you guys are probably Tyrannus or Fly Sky, but Fly Sky makes some little ones too. Fly Sky makes some really crappy Park Flyer receivers that go like 50 feet and fucking fall. But anyway, look at the size of that bam. Okay, I depin these. I do put a real antenna on them. I put a dipole on there. But even with that, you're still not going full range as a full, like what I have in my drones, right? So that is a really good reason to put a booster in. Because if this little guy's only got a chicky bicep, and this guy's got like fucking Schwarzenegger bicep, bam, you're still going to get great reception, and you'll be able to turn this little park flying distance into full flying distance. So, because I know I've got a lot of guys out there that, a lot of my friends that we talk, you know, back and forth on YouTube, and he's like, oh, well, I want an antenna that can really, you know, I can get my FPV really far and blah, 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 blah. Okay, kids, get one of those. Get one of those and put in a booster, and this shit going on the moon, son. The other thing to consider as well is the videos that you guys saw with this. This is only a 50 milliwatt transmitter. I mean, it's a 200. It's a 25, 50, 200. I have it set on 50 because I think 200 is too much power consumption for a micro. But, you know, all in all, that's still pretty good frickin' range vertically for FPV feed. So either way, that's why I would do it. If you're building micros and you have those little cheapo, like, fuck me, I just lost the damn thing. See, that's the problem with that small shit, son. There it is. These little tiny guys, they don't have a lot of ass to them, but you put your ass in here, bam, you get it. It's awesome. Now, the way, if you don't want to go through all what I did, and I know my build video is very hack, but you know what? That's how I would have done it, and that's how I do it. And it works great. Haven't noticed any power drops, power consumption. Like I said, kids, if it would have screwed this up, I would have gotten 100 feet. Because I remember one time I dropped my transmitter, and that little pigtail came undone, so I had no antenna, and it literally went 100 feet and fell out of the fucking sky. So I know this mod worked. I just haven't had a good chance to check the full range of everything. But I'll, you know, again, if you go to the build video, there's links in the description of all that stuff that we use. The diatone 5-volt back, the booster, it's really all you need in your transmitter. Again, super huge shout out to Jesse and Vita. Vita's actually the dude that told me about the booster, and I know they made them, but I just didn't really think about it. And he's like, dude, check this out. You gotta try one of these. Bam, I'm glad I did. It worked out well. And Jesse, obviously, he's the one that turned me on to the new firmware for the 18.9, which I still need to play with because I don't necessarily trust that RSSI. I know it's working, but I think there might be some funky way I have to calibrate it. And just to go over, we're going to go over the specs. Yes, I have notes because I haven't been drinking. That booster, receiver gain 10 decibel, transmission 11. Noise receiving ratio plus or greater or less than 3.0 decibels. Input power range 4 decibel to 20. Maximum transmitter power 33 decibels per meter. 2 watts input power with amp power. Bam, that's huge. Input voltage is 3.5 to 5.5 volts DC. Dimensions, you saw that. And the standard antenna gain, meaning the antenna that they put on here is a 6 decibel. And the mod that I had on there before was a 6 decibel. So I actually got basically an extra antenna. There you go. So that's it. Check out the DVR. Like I said, it wasn't exactly how I wanted to do it, but the wind would have taken me away. So we will get it going, but trust me, if you want to have a cool thing, and by the time you strip off that piece of shit heatsink, which, kids, it's not a heatsink, it's a metal cap. Heat sinks have veins in them, or they're ceramic, and they dissipate heat. Those little covers that are on your VTXs, on your Big Birds, or that cover you saw me take off in the build video, that is just trapping in hot air. And once that aluminum shield gets to full temperature, it no longer dissipates heat. That's the thing people don't think about. Radiation, or radiating, displacing heat. If you have a real heat sink, you've got veins in it, or you've got a ceramic in it, or something like that, that cools off instantly. When you just take a metal cover and put it over a VTX or any type of power amp, excuse me, once that shield, let's say it gets up to 150 degrees. Once that thing gets up to 150 degrees, it no longer does anything but trap hot air in it. You're actually better off to take the covers off of your VTXs and boosters and things like that. Now, if it was ceramic or had a heatsink or a fan, that's a different devil. But those little covers, those are just making you think that they work. Especially on a real bird, you're better to take that cover off your VTX so you get constant airflow from your props or just the surrounding wind than you are by keeping that cover on there. Because keeping that cover on there, once it gets to temperature, which is really quick, it just keeps it at that temperature. You're not gaining anything. Take them off, and they're really easy to pop off. So anyway, bam, check out the DVR after this, and I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions. Bam, keep shiny side up, kids. Take care. Bye.
Past the stagnation, I can't remember any plot lines. Another channel on a throwaway station. Another way to spend your lifetime. The time has come, stop the mutation. mutation.
You dance, they stare, they bitch and glare, they have